Last year I have wrestled with making a video in response to the whole cancel culture craze that some of my favorite YouTubers were making videos on. And of course, the cancel culture thing was right up onto my alley, onto videos I've made against SJWs since the last decade. But I never really made a video on cancel culture because one, was not feeling it, and number two, I was dealing with my own personal problems outside of YouTube and all that stuff. Now we're in the start of a new decade, we have a pandemic, and the cancel culture craze is still going on strong. And it's gone after an individual that not only was one of my favorite YouTubers, but actually was one of my biggest influences of this channel. And all I have to say is, y'all just virtue signal in the wrong neighborhood, son. Everybody, this is Atticus the Death Metaler, and yes, I am making that video, cancel culture. I'm a little bit late, but as of right now with the current shit going on, as of right now in the recent news, I feel like I need to bring this up because, oh my god, this is hilarious as well as absolutely stupid. So do a little brief thing about cancel culture over here. Cancel culture, I believe, during that time period, and cancel culture was like a huge thing that was going around and stuff. Like for instance, a prime example of cancel culture would be that of the director for Guardians of the Galaxy, James Gunn, in which a lot of people dug around on some old tweets that he made back in the day, which were not very keen. I mean, you know, jokes that were not PC, and thus he was fired from directing Guardians of the Galaxy. But as of right now, of last year, it looks like he's gonna be back making a third installment of Guardians of the Galaxy. So there's that. But I think the most extreme case of cancel culture going way too far is, of course, Alec Homoloka. I butchered his last name. Unfortunately, committed suicide over the allegations that, of course, Zoe Quinn made, who accused Alec Homoloka of sexual advances and harassment and all that other stuff, and we all know how scummy of a person Zoe Quinn is. I mean, the whole Gamergate thing. But now we go over to the new decade, and is cancel culture still going strong? I believe so, yes. And cancel culture, I believe, the recent case of cancel culture before the issue I'm talking about is, of course, the whole drama surrounding iDubbbz. Now, do not get me fucking started on the whole shit with iDubbbz. If you want to do a little, if I want to condense it all down over here, the reason why that I believe that there was going to be some cancel culture surrounding iDubbbz was the news that his girlfriend Anissa announced that she had an OnlyFans. Now, I know this is going to be me dragging this video further out, but let me just make this very clear. If y'all ladies want to make an OnlyFans, go right the fuck for it. It's a free country, you can do whatever you want. Capitalism, you're gonna use that to your advantage in the pandemic, go right the fuck for it. But I should also have the right to go around posting memes and jokes about girls with OnlyFans. Why? Because this is America, god damn it. So yeah, at the end of the day, I have no problem for gals who have an OnlyFans. Do what you gotta do. Hustle. It's none of my fucking business. Though I can make jokes. But anyways, I'm getting way fucking sidetracked over this shit. Cancel culture has gone after an individual whom not only was one of the most legendary YouTubers of the past decade, but was a great influence of mine. A great influence that basically was the reason why I did YouTube. I'm of course talking about Joji. But all of you know him best as Filthy Frank. So if you guys are completely oblivious onto who Filthy Frank was, he, in my personal opinion, completely just changed the game, not onto YouTube comedy, but all of comedy in general, like which I will talk about later. But if you want to know why that he quit being Filthy Frank and move on to his music career onto Joji, I have a video down in the description below called The End of an Era, Filthy Frank from 2007 to 2017. So that was a pretty heartfelt video that I made back in the early stages of 2018, so check it out yourself. So let us get down onto the main reason why cancel culture is going after my boy Joji, or Papa Franku. So if you guys all remember that when he was doing the Filthy Frank kind of thing, he brought out his first Pink Eye album in 2013, which was basically free. I have it on my iTunes library, and every time I go back to a little bit of nostalgia, I always listen to that first Pink Eye album. Then around in 2016, 2017, he released his second Pink Eye album, which was pretty good, and it was also getting to the ranks of, like, you know, his really serious shit that he was gonna do later. And then, you know, in 2018, he finally brought forth his music career with Slow Dancing in the Dark, which, my god, I was like, holy shit. That song was fucking amazing. But due to his new rise in popularity with his music career going on, and he's doing pretty good as of from what I have seen so far, especially with this pandemic going on, unfortunately, it didn't sit well with a lot of young, new fans of Joji that somehow stumbled upon his old content as Filthy Frank. And as you can probably tell, they were fucking outraged. And the majority of them, obviously, were K-pop fans. And they took to Twitter with the hashtag Jojiisoverparty. And my god, I'm just, as always, we're gonna do these little, just the spiciest tweets that Twitter has to offer. So without further ado, let us delve down onto these spicy tweets now, shall we?
Yeah, imagine being mad at black K-pop stars because your favorite is racist and says the N-word. Imagine defending racist just because you don't like black K-pop stars. Wait! Twitter is a sad place.
Anyone else hear about this Joji situation? It's so disgusting. Shake my head. I was no racist, so
Fuck is racist and fuck is sexualizing Ariana Grande and her ghost dies.
No white boys will really just let literal racists make music as long as it plays into your sick sense of humor. Oh no, honey, y'all make me sick.
And just seeing all these tweets over here, I'm just like, y'all too young for this shit. Y'all too young for this fucking shit. But like, oh my fucking god. I was literally just bewildered, baffled, and laughing my ass off. But just due to the fact that, you know, a lot of people who actually are huge devoted fans of Filthy Frank, oh boy, they snapped right back, and I'm gonna be one of those people, and I'm just gonna say this right here, right now. Filthy Frank, while yes, a lot of his content was pretty offensive and shit, I mean, yeah, when I first discovered Filthy Frank, I thought it was pretty offensive as well, but overall in time, like, I wasn't even offended at all over the fucking jokes. And throughout this entire career, like, yeah, most of you who will think that his jokes are offensive, but like, he never went out of his way to deliberately, literally offend people at all whatsoever. It was completely satirical, and it is dark comedy.
Sieg Heil! Sieg Heil! Sieg Heil!
I'm not racist, by the way. I just really wanted to piss her off.
Which is basically like, you know, a lot of people like myself, which, yeah, like, after graduating high school and entering college, I was like pretty insecure on a lot of stuff, and I didn't have a really good sense of humor, and then I discovered Filthy Frank. I was offended at first, but like, overall in time, I grew to really love and just lose my shit onto that kind of content. And he never went out of his way to deliberately offend people whatsoever. Hell, even on the TV Filthy Frank or the Disaster Music channel, he made this fucking big fucking bold statement onto his channel, which I will read here. Filthy Frank is the embodiment of everything a person should not be. He's anti-PC, anti-social, and anti-couth. He behaves and reacts excessively to everything expressly to highlight the ridiculousness of racism, misogyny, legalism, injustice, ignorance, and other social blights. He also sets an example to show how easy it is in the social media for any zany material to gain traction followings by simply sharing unsavory opinions and joking about topics many find offensive. There is no denying that the show is terribly offensive, but this terrible offensiveness is a deliberate and unapologetic parody of the whole social media machine and a reflection of the human microcosm that the social media is. In which, yeah, I definitely fucking agree. But like, let's be frank here, all of you guys know that I am very highly against PC culture and I think it's fucking cancer, but I am like not as like deliberately far down the rabbit hole into basically becoming Matthew Heimbach or Richard Spencer, for Christ's sake. Oh my God. I am not that extreme. I mean, I just am a person that's just like, I just want to play video games, love dark humor, and all this other shit. And I find it so fucking funny that these fucking young K-pop fans, most of them are all K-pop fans, are getting super fucking triggered, especially when he says the dreaded and offensive queen mother of all words you should not say, the N-word. And yes, of course, I have said the N-word a couple of videos and stuff. It's just like, come on. Like, YouTube really doesn't like that shit at all whatsoever. So, in hindsight, I'm trying to be a little bit tipsy-toesy over here and shit. But like, my views on the N-word is, of course, on this part onto iDubbbz's content cop on Tandem Mojo right here. And yes, I'm using iDubbbz as an example. I am very well over the whole iDubbbz drama, but come on, I'm using this as an example.
We are very fucking stupid to hold the word nigger at this colossally high standard, whereas every other slur, that can be used in a comedic sense or an editorial sense, but not this one. Because that one has history. Well, guess what, fucking retards? All the other ones have history too. Zipperhead? Yeah. Asian people didn't get their fucking heads ran over in World War II. They weren't thrown into internment camps. But yeah, you can't say that one because it's got sort of it's guttural. Either all of them are okay or none of them are okay. But if you try to come online and tell me that I can't say a particular word, but you say words that are just as offensive, in the famous words of Tandem Mojo,
kill yourself.
So yeah, that's basically like my views onto the whole thing. When you put a certain word into a high pedestal, you're giving it that fucking power. Also, another broader explanation of it, I would recommend watching Jay Longbone's video on the N-word down the description below, which is a pretty good video on the whole thing. I find it so fucking hilarious that people are digging up onto Joji's old career and now they're just like saying, oh my God, he's racist shit. I'm just like, he's Eurasian, he's Japanese and Australian. So like, you fucking what, mate? My God. If you people are that seriously triggered and offended over his musical content and most of his videos that he's made overall throughout his Filthy Frank career, then you motherfuckers haven't seen the Cake Trilogy.
Fucking come on! Aim to the car! Mazel tov, boys!
Oh my God. I will say this. The Cake Trilogy, a part of Filthy Frank's career, as well as like iDubbbz, using the content comp, and H3H3, the mom and dad of YouTube. That was like, in my personal opinion, the golden age of YouTube. But in my personal opinion, over onto the dark content and comedy of Filthy Frank, all the edgy jokes that he's made, this was during a decade where PC culture was completely fucking rampant, and a lot of people, like myself, were getting sick and tired of being told onto saying we're this and that, when clearly we're fucking not. And this was like shit that was around and that we could laugh about and shit, and it was just amazing. Clearly fucking amazing. Like the early to mid 2010s, in my opinion, with like Filthy Frank's career going skyrocketing high, That was pretty much like, in my opinion, the golden age of YouTube comedy, where you had all these great channels. Great fucking channels. But nowadays, like, YouTube has gone to shit, and you have all these commentary channels with quirky ass like content, and they just don't add any substance at all whatsoever. They don't have any charisma, in my opinion. And yes, I'm very well aware that there's this joke going around that I am the American version of iNabber. I'm basically like a bootleg version of iNabber, but yeah, that's all I gotta say over here. But yeah, I think my last thoughts and opinions, my last choice of words onto this shit is just like, to all the people getting offended over Joji's past career, either you can take the heat or get the fuck out of the kitchen, or if you can't take a joke, get off my fucking dick, alright? And if that doesn't help out, well, to quote from Pink Eye's song,
shut the fuck up. You're a fucking cunt. Shut the fuck up. You're a stupid cunt. Suck my dick.
That is all I gotta say about this whole thing. So, what are your guys' thoughts about this whole thing? For some odd random reason, agree with all these K-pop fans. Do you think all these K-pop fans are acting like a bunch of triggered, whiny, crybaby duty heads, or any of this shit? Leave it down on the comments below. And stay tuned for more videos. I know I'm gonna be working on another Death Metaler reviews episode very shortly around in May, so be ready for that shit. So, yeah, that's all I gotta say. Without further ado, ladies and gents, I am Atticus the Death Mailer. Hope you like this video. Subscribe to my channel. Links are down in the description below. Keep it metal and have an excellent and blessed day, y'all.